Welcome to our 2020 Veterans Day program. Today we are celebrating Veterans Day. It is a day we stand and support our fellow Americans who have so proudly served our country in the armed forces. America has survived many battles fought bravely by our men and women in uniform. It is these men and women, both past and present, we should remember and thank by honoring them on this day.
In 1780, the American patriot Thomas Paine wrote these words: "These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country. But he that stands it now deserves the love and thanks of men and women."
Today we are gathered to do just that, to offer our love and thanks to the unbroken line of men and women who have given service to their country. America's armed forces have always been prepared to defend our freedom and the freedom of others throughout the world.
More than 1 million American service members died in the service of this country. More than 1.4 million lived with the wounds they suffered while fighting for us. More than 25 million former service members are still living today. They are that special group of Americans we call veterans. Today we honor them and say thank you for serving. Now please rise for the singing of our national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Morrill High School Choir. Some of you may ask, who is a veteran? A veteran is a person who has served in the armed forces, an experienced soldier, especially one who served in time of war. A veteran is a man or woman who has served in the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, or Air Force.
Veterans Day is a time to thank living veterans for their service, to show appreciation for their contributions to our national security, and to emphasize the fact that all those who served, not just those who died, have sacrificed and done their duty.
And their duty is to defend freedom and help other countries defend freedom too. For example, Captain Weir Miley, a doctor from Anderson, Indiana, joined the Army when America entered World War I in 1917 to help Great Britain and France defeat Germany. Thousands upon thousands of American men, like Captain Miley, joined the armed forces to help our friends and defend our country. Through their letters, we learned about what it was like to be an American soldier. It wasn't easy being away from home and family in a foreign country.
In 1918, Captain Miley was assigned to a field hospital in France. He sent many letters home to his wife and little daughter, Jeannie. Listen to one letter sent to Eugenie in which Captain Miley sounds like a little homesick.
My dear Jeannie, this is your 4th birthday, and as I cannot be with you to help you enjoy it, I will write you a letter just to let you know that Daddy is thinking of you. It is very hot where Daddy is, and it does not rain much anymore. I got your letter a few days ago and was very glad to hear from you and to know that you were well and having such a good time. There are lots of flowers over here in France where Daddy is, and I wish you were here to gather some. Well, Jeannie, is the beginning to get dark, and I will have to stop for this time. You be a very good girl and do just what Mother and Grandma tell you to do, and someday Daddy will come home.
So Captain Miley is just one of the millions we honor on Veterans Day. Why do we honor veterans on November 11th? Why not October or September? Well, in 1918, on the 11th hour of the 11th day in the 11th month, the world rejoiced and celebrated. After 4 years of bitter war, an armistice was signed, and World War I, the war to end all wars, was over.
How did it feel to actually be at war when this armistice was signed? Private Ralph Cooey from Martins Ferry, Ohio, joined the 20th Ambulance Corps. He was thrilled to be able to serve his country, but he was also very happy to come home. Listen to this letter that he wrote to his mother from France on November 12, 1918.
Well, my dear mother, I guess the war must be over. We have not heard the guns or cannons for some few days, and the armistice has been signed on the 11th day, 11th month, and on the 11th hour. So I guess that means peace. Oh gee, I wish I could only be home by Christmas. And if I don't get home until after Christmas, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. From your loving son.
So November 11th, 1919, we set aside as Armistice Day in the United States to remember sacrifices that men and women like Captain Miley and Private Cooey made during World War I. In 1938, Armistice Day was made a federal holiday to be celebrated every year on November 11th.
On the first Armistice Day, soldiers who survived the war marched in a parade through their hometowns. Politicians and veteran officers gave speeches and held ceremonies of thanks for the peace they had won.
It wasn't until 1953 when the townspeople of Emporia, Kansas, called the holiday Veterans Day in gratitude to all of the veterans in their town. Soon after, Congress passed a bill renaming the holiday to Veterans Day. In 1971, President Nixon declared it a federal holiday to be celebrated on the second Monday of November.
You may be wondering if the U.S. is the only country that honors veterans with a special day. There are a number of countries that honor their veterans each year on November 11th. Canada and Australia observe Remembrance Day on November 11th, and Great Britain observes Remembrance Day on the Sunday nearest to November 11th.
Americans still give thanks for peace on Veterans Day. There are ceremonies and speeches at 11 in the morning. Most Americans observe a moment of silence, remembering those who fought for peace.
Country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. My native country be, land of the noble free, thy name I love. I love thy rocks and rills, thy woods and templed hills, thy heart with rapture fills, like that above.
And our annual tribute continues each November 11th in Washington, D.C. at Arlington National Cemetery. At 11, a color guard made up of each of the military branches renders honors to America's war dead during a traditional ceremony at the tomb of the unknown soldier. The president places a wreath at the tomb and a bugler sounds taps.
While Veterans Day is typically a tribute to America's living veterans, it is always appropriate to include a moment of respect for those who gave their lives for their country.
Now please join us in a moment of silence and taps as we remember those who are protecting us today, both home and abroad.
Thank you for tuning in to our 2020 virtual Veterans Day program, brought to you by the Student Council officers. We will now conclude our program with our Morrill Elementary giving thanks.
Land I love,
stripes on hearted stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's some handwritten letters from home. It's some sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife.